Today we're going to be talking about liminal spaces and why they are so creepy from my point of view. This is a new type of content, so please enjoy the video and let me know if you want to see more. So, pour your soda pops, grab your popcorn, and let's take a dive into liminal spaces. So a few of the things that come into play with liminal spaces is the feeling of being alone. You rarely see any other people in the pictures that you see, which makes it just feel off. In a way, it's like an empty memory that you can just hardly remember. But the thing that makes it so much worse is that it's mainly just empty. There's a phobia that can play into this as well. The phobia I'm talking about is kenophobia. Kenophobia is an intense, irrational fear of empty or wide open spaces. The feeling can lead you to helplessness or just unnerved. And something that I realized with liminal spaces is that this comes into play in a lot of ways. Most of the places you see have nobody in sight, and they are mainly just empty with uncomfortable lighting, or just downright darkness. And before I conclude part 1, I just wanted to mention something I'm feeling while looking further into this. Some of the liminal images that I tend to see time to time have this dim lighting in them, and it makes me feel some sort of way that I can't even explain. It's like a feeling that I haven't felt in years. Like an old childhood safety, I guess? I don't even know how to explain it. But the farther I go into this, the more I feel unnerved by this feeling. It's like a feeling of being safe but not being safe at the same time. It's like being at a childhood home that you haven't visited in years, but something just feels off. Anyway, that concludes part 1. Now I know I kinda talked about this in the first bit, but I just wanted to extend this a little more. The feelings you get while looking at this are genuinely something else, and I know it seems like I'm just being over dramatic, but it's the truth. It makes me feel so off, and I don't even know why. But the next part will be a little more interesting, considering it's my favorite bit, but I just wanted to talk more about the way liminal spaces can make you feel. Genuinely looking at this shit at night makes me feel like something is around the corner of my room. It's like reading a story but not remembering bits of it and witnessing something new that you never remembered. It's such an off-putting feeling that it genuinely plays with you. Looking more into these images, I started feeling sick to my stomach, and who knows, maybe I'm just a pussy for that, but genuinely, it makes me feel so uneasy looking farther and farther into these. Even if this is just from my point of view, I genuinely consider, for you, the person watching this video, to go into the darkest point of your house and just start looking more and more into these, and tell me how it makes you feel. Who knows, maybe you're just a badass that isn't afraid of anything and you can just take it all in and say, "Whoa, what the fuck is wrong with you? You are such a pussy!" But the other half of you that knows what it feels like to be afraid of the dark, I want you to do what I just said. And hey, don't be afraid. Remember, I'm with you on this one. You'll understand how I feel. But back to what I was talking about. I think I might have mentioned this from earlier, but it's time for my favorite part of the video. I might have mentioned the feeling of some of these images from dreams. Well, it's time we look into the art of Dreamcore. Dreamcore, or also known as a subcategory in weirdcore, is an aesthetic that is based around bizarre imagery and objects. It heavily relies on nostalgic things, or places you may feel that you've seen before in the past. A large part of this aesthetic is based around liminal spaces. Foreshadow. And the unnerving feelings that come with them. They can be disturbing, off-putting, or confusing to the viewer. Cursed images may be similar, but do not get them confused. Some dreamcore isn't always unnerving. Sometimes it could be a feeling similar to what you feel in your dreams. That includes the different categories that people feel in their dreams as well, like warmth, nostalgia, loneliness, comfort, or grayness. Dreamcore always ends up giving me this odd feeling in my body. Like, maybe I'm missing or forgetting something. Maybe I've seen this before. Is it comforting? Is it not? Am I lonely? Why is it so unnerving? It's not always the same. Quote unquote. So it's basically like you're in a dream, and it can be confusing to how vividly you remember some of the places that you see in this genre. It's definitely an off-putting feeling that can just leave you confused. And another thing, there are so many subgenres that I can't just jam them all into one video. But as I said before, I highly recommend that you look into this for yourself. But with all that, that's what Dreamcore is. It's basically just places that you've seen in a dream or nightmare. And with all that concluded, that's the end of the Dreamcore segment. This is definitely a weird aesthetic, I guess you could say. Not just the liminal spaces, but with all the subgenres to do with liminal spaces as well. They all make you feel some weird-ass way, but in my opinion, this has gotta be some of the coolest shit that I've ever found. And I made a video on Roblox Disney World horror Easter egg. With that being said, I wanted to say that none of the images you saw in this video belong to me, and the music mainly used was by an artist called Mew. He makes amazing fucking music. You should definitely check him out. And before I end the video, I just wanted to say thank you all for 2.83 thousand subscribers. It really means a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.